Listen, when I was at my worst with my back injury, I couldn't feel my left leg. I was limping. I needed help to sit down, to stand up, to move around the house. And I was living with my woman and my child, of course. We are a family of 3. And imagine all the things I was doing before, all the manly job around the house, I couldn't do them anymore. You know? And everything fallen on my lovely Andrea. And I just remember the days when I was at my worst, when I was losing weight so fast. I lost approximately 17 kilos. I lost a lot of weight. I didn't recognize myself anymore at some point. And you know what hurt me the most? The hardest thing was actually seeing her in front of my eyes, getting skinnier and skinnier and skinnier because all the mental pressure I saw in her eyes, because she saw me in how bad spot I was and I didn't know better. I was listening to doctors, I was always showing her documents, papers, and telling her what they're telling me. And they were telling me that I won't be able to lift weights, run, jump, be athletic. I need to adapt my lifestyle around my injury and stuff like that, you know. And she was getting skinnier and skinnier in front of my eyes too, you know, because of all the stress and everything she needed to do by herself, you know, only going to groceries and buying everything. With a small child, I couldn't help. I was at home. I couldn't take care of my lovely child too, and this was the problem. So it was hard, you know. I was a burden. At least I felt like so. She was telling me that I wasn't, but I saw in her eyes how she's falling apart like I did, you know. She was trying to hide it, but I could see just straight through her, you know. And I've seen on her body too, you know. When she undressed, I saw her, she's getting skinnier and skinnier, and she was really skinny at some point. I see all the bones and stuff like that. And then I'm stressing even more, and that's why I know how hard this injury, if you're really injured like I was, how hard is this on your mental health, on your body, on your family, on your kids, on everyone around you, on your job, on your finance, on every aspect of your life. You know, I've been there and I've done it. I know how it is. And that's why I don't understand you guys. I'm showing you daily it can be done. I'm showing you daily me training like crazy. I'm showing you daily client testimonials, client proof before and after from my clients. From clients who are 50 60 years old. They're much older than you. And what you do? Nothing. This is the part I cannot understand. Really, I can't. Because when I was at my worst, I would give my house, my everything I possessed, I would give it to someone to help me out, to make me pain-free, to restore my life, to get me back on track. But I couldn't. I didn't know better. I was in this loop of constant pain and inflammation, getting a resource and information from someone who was never there, clearly from doctors who didn't care about me. You know, I was just another one that day. And this is how it goes. If you will wait it out, if you will take advice from someone who does not have this experience, who just read it in a book, there won't be good results for you. There will be just pain and suffering and constant loop of inflammation, financial troubles, and everything that comes after that, you know. This is how it goes. And it's bad. This was the hardest thing in my life. Yes. And I know how hard it is. And that's why I don't understand you when I present you a solution, when I show you everything daily, showing you, speaking to you, telling you, and you decide to wait. To wait it another day in your inflamed, hurting body. Waiting for what? Please explain this to me. What are you waiting for? This spinal injury is not like when you cut yourself or you break a bone or you tear a muscle and you just wait it out and it heals and recovers. No. You got a spinal nerve involved. And those things, if not approached correctly, they just regress and you get worse and worse and worse and worse to the point that you won't feel your legs. There will be no strength in your legs. And then the doctor will just give an appointment for the surgery. And this is the end line. And trust me, you don't want to do a spinal surgery if it's not needed. There are some cases with bulging and herniated disc that urgent surgery is needed. But this is such a small amount that the studies I read, 95 plus, these bulging herniations can fully recover without any surgery. But only if approached correctly. If you're doing random exercises, if you don't know what you're doing, if you're performing exercises incorrectly, you're hurting yourself. If you're hurting yourself, you're prolonging your situation and worsening your situation. You know, this is how it goes. And that's why I don't understand you when I give you all the information and you just wait, you decide to wait it out for another day, for another week, for another month. Think, use your brain. Where do you see yourself down the line in a matter 6 months, year, 2, 3? Without improving, just regressing slowly. How do you think you will be able to get more money if you're struggling, let's say, with a financial already? And you will just get worse and worse down the line. How will you work then? How will you earn your money? How will you pay your bills? You know, this is a pain and suffering loop that there is no way out if you don't know what you're doing. Because everything comes with a delay. You know? Injury, re-injury, pain, suffering, bills, banks. And this is how it goes. And I'm so grateful for my Andrea and my Liam, you know, because if it would not be for them, I wouldn't be here anymore. I'm 1000% of that. 1000%. And one more thing, if you don't have a lovely wife and someone you can trust with your life, like I did, if you're alone, I just cannot imagine. I just can't imagine this, being alone through this. And then the time came when I understood why people take their lives when they're in constant pain 24/7. This is the first time in my life I understood that. Yes, I did. And it made sense. But listen, now I'm telling you, it does not make sense. You can fully recover. Spinal injury like this bulge and herniation can fully recover. Fully. You can be athletic, running, jumping, lifting, no matter what any doctor told you. Fuck them. You know? Fuck this mentality. This mentality just keeps you stuck in a place of constant pain and inflammation. And you give up before you even start trying. You know? So stop with that. Find someone who motivates you. Find someone who was there. Find someone and let him guide you. This is the fastest way out of this hell. But don't get information from someone who was never injured, who never went himself with his own body through this bullshit. Find someone who was in the same spot as you are or in the worst spot as you are and let him guide you. He has experience and knowledge. And this is what you need. Not just some random idiot that read something in the book. And he give you stretching or strengthening exercises at the complete beginning when you're in a suffering state, when your bulging or herniated disc is bulging out of your spine and pressing on your spinal nerve that is traveling down to your legs, and you pull your already hypersensitive and irritated nerve directly on your bulging and herniated disc. No, stop. At the beginning, when you get MRI, when you go to your doctor, and when he gives you this brochure with stretching and strengthening exercises, the first step toward pain-free life is taking this brochure, crushing it, and throwing it away. This is how it starts. And then you need to first reduce the inflammation and irritation of your spinal nerve from your bulging or herniated disc and create a space in between. And this is how healing starts. Not with a fucking strengthening or stretching exercises, you know? Then you introduce stability exercises and mobility and strengthening exercises down the line months later. And this is how it goes. And take it from me. I was there, I've done it. And I'm telling you the truth. And this is the truth. And this is the correct approach. And I hope this makes sense. I really hope it does. Because it should, you know? If something is like this, if this is your spinal nerve and this is your normal disc, this is a healthy spine, in between is space, the nerves glide up and down. And when you have a herniated or bulging disc, your disc is bulges or herniates out of the spine and press on the spinal nerve. And now you should not be doing stretching or strengthening exercises. No. That's why you're stuck for years. You know? This is how it goes. And I'm really genuinely trying to help you guys daily, trying to emphasize this so you understand it. And I'm repeating this daily because there are many new followers each day and they need to hear this because this is the most important thing, the beginning of healing your disc bulge and herniation, because the complete beginning from the start is wrong with the brochure they gave you, with stretching and strengthening exercises. I wish you all fast recovery.